Hey everybody, it's the Obscure Reference Show with Mike.
Hello, hey, ladies.
I thought you kept saying Haley.
Haley Williams.
Patrick is back.
Hi. What? Hi. I'm over here now.
And you guys can always tell when Miles' door opens, that means he's smoking.
Hello.
And I'm
Smoking
here. Hey everybody.
If
All right, guys.
we were a boy band, Myles is now the bad boy.
He is. I'm not growing a goatee.
Or putting your hair in those weird kind of dreadlocky, white guy dreadlocks.
Ugh.
What does that make everybody else? I don't know any other boy band types besides the bad boy. Well, so if you go by...
There's the cute one. The cute, sensitive one.
So there's the cute, sensitive one.
Which, before the cigarettes, Miles, you would have been kind of prime target for the cute, sensitive.
Then there's the bad boy. Then there's, if you go by NSYNC rules, the fat one. Whose last name was even fat one.
You could substitute older brother type.
Can it not be the cute, sensitive bad boy?
No. You can't have them all, Myles. Myles, you're either Ginger Spice or Baby Spice. You got to pick one.
Oh, shit.
Though technically now you are the only single member of our little cadre here.
That's true. You're all married now.
Yeah.
Honest men.
Why buy the cow when you can? Why buy the bull when you can get the
semen
reproductive material for free?
I want to tell you guys.
My mic stand is suddenly.
Before we started recording today, what I spent some time doing.
Oh,
we know you spent time doing.
I've been waiting for hours to hear about this.
I know, and you're too hyped up now. It's not going to be interesting.
As you can see visually, I am on the edge of my seat.
I spent a good solid 10 or 15 minutes trying to. Sarah and I spent 10 or 15 minutes trying to figure out how to make Donald Duck voices by watching YouTube videos. And she sounds like a demon of some kind when she does it.
Bring her in here. I want to hear it.
We demand it.
Yeah, they want to hear your Donald Duck voice.
Demon Duck. I don't know. She might have headphones in or something.
Or she doesn't want to appear on a live international broadcast doing a demon.
She's walked by many times.
She's got headphones in right now. That's what she was swinging around before we started.
Throw something at her.
Just to vamp for time. Hey, woman! I've been told that I have a great Mickey Mouse. They want to hear your Donald Duck voice. So, I'm gonna bust out my Mickey Mouse right now. She's gonna do it. Hi-ho, everybody! She's coming, guys. Oh, there you go. Do it again.
We can't hear you. You're gonna have to come and do it into the microphone.
They said you have to come closer to do it. Oh, she's getting all shy now that we're.
Oh, come on, Sarah.
So she doesn't have to be on screen. She just needs to be by the mic. It sounds like a cat coughing up a hairball.
Well, Mike,
I didn't hear that part.
You're criticizing hers pretty heavily. Let's hear.
So I can't figure out how to make the actual words when I'm making the sound, and that's what I was trying to figure out because I can do the.
Yeah, I can do that.
Right, but
This must be fantastic audio for our
and so that's what I wanted to ask you guys. Like, I wanted to know what your best Donald Duck was and how you.
I don't have one.
So
season.
It's weird because it's about placing your tongue in the roof of your mouth and creating like a little air pocket, and like that's as far as I can get.
I remember when I was a kid, I tried to do a Donald Duck voice because he had a specific tone and like syllabic thing, and my babysitter at the time, I was 5, thought I was trying to say "son of a bitch" in like hidden, and I got in trouble. I was just trying to make I was just trying to say speak like Donald Duck, and she thought I was trying to say "son of a bitch."
Miles, were you wearing pants at the time? Because if you're doing a true Donald Duck impression, you can't wear pants.
I was 5. The pants may or may not have been on. I don't know.
I would practice, but I think it's just going to be horrible
Yeah, I
audio
agree.
for anybody to listen to.
Yeah, it's for some reason I really want to learn how to do it, so I'm gonna continue to try and practice.
So
and then
how did that come to be? What was like? I want to learn how to talk like Donald Duck.
well, like I just like I know how to make that sound and like that like general pitch, but I can't actually do the words. So I want to know.
You know something I wanted to, I have not thought to look on the internet to learn how to do, but something that I've wanted to know how to do for a long time.
That was a lot of explaining. Go ahead.
That thing where you like stick 2 fingers in your mouth and do like a super
The loud whistle? Yeah, the Super Saiyan whistle.
Like I looked it up like when I was in high school before YouTube existed and saw like guides, but I could never
Tasty
get it to
Patrick?
work.
Nah, I don't know where this is.
I can't whistle at all.
What?
I can't whistle.
Myles, you just put your lips together and blow.
Myles, you could never have a dog.
Aww.
I've had dogs.
Obviously not.
I just didn't whistle at them.
I started watching.
Miles, you could never call over
Shut
some
up.
ladies or prostitutes because you can't whistle.
They
I
come to
started-
me.
I started watching the Clone Wars.
Oh, what do you think?
Did you watch the movie first or did you watch the TV show?
Don't watch the movie.
I jumped straight into the series,
Probably
Yeah,
a good move.
Yeah, absolutely.
and Sarah agrees. We've watched the first 3 episodes, and it is infinitely more interesting than any of the
I absolutely agree with you.
episodes 1, 2, and 3 of the.
If they had done this, no one would have
They're
hated
still
Anakin
canon.
at all.
Thankfully,
They're,
they are
yeah,
still
they're
canon.
they're still canon. Nothing else is.
But
Everything
I-
else
I mean,
that's, if it hasn't
Do we
been
have
on
a
film,
Clone
it's not.
Wars challenge for the More You Nerd?
I don't
feel
know
like
if
we do.
but like I'm like honestly, I'm kind of hooked on it even after. Just
It's
3
a
episodes.
great show.
They-
I watched the
they've
first
done-
season and loved it.
They've done more for the characters, like specifically Anakin. They make Anakin
Yep.
a character that you like, rather than just some like.
No, I agree. And
time
they introduced,
period.
Ahsoka's a great character too. His
Yeah,
apprentice.
so she is the only person that I have a problem with right now because her delivery of
It gets better. It gets better.
Okay. And I assumed it would because it literally sounds like I'm listening to like someone trying to teach a child how to speak English with the way that she talks. Like, I didn't think this was gonna happen. Can you say that, kids?
Well, I think it also has something to do with probably a first-time voice actor, which I think she was.
Yeah.
Well, and you've also got a show that is, at least at the time, directly targeted at kids, and it has become less
Yeah, but
so
even though
over
it's directly
time.
targeted at kids, like that show gets serious pretty quick. Like
It does.
that's an explosion. And
Because the movie was, I didn't finish the movie. I always kind of intended to before watching the show, and I haven't done that yet.
No, even fans of the show say the movie's garbage. So I played and beat South Park: The Stick of Truth this weekend,
No
Really, I
spoilers.
really play that.
No
and
spoilers.
it is a treat.
No
It
spoilers.
is. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Although I will say there's a great Star Wars reference and something that all of us can relate to when it comes to Drew in this game. But
What is that supposed to mean?
No
okay, so
spoilers.
this isn't really,
Tell us what that means.
this is not a spoiler. At one point, they're getting all the other cosplaying kids in town who are not playing their little game. So, like, the Federation kids and the Pirate kids and all these people. And Cartman's giving this rousing speech. And this one kid who is dressed up like a Romulan says, "And we'll set our phaser to stun." And everyone stops. And Cartman goes, "God damn it, Kevin, every fucking time." And
See, I have a distinct problem with this because Romulans use disruptors, which do not have a stun setting.
God damn it, Drew! Every fucking time.
that's what I'm talking about. But no, the game is the funniest game I've ever played. Visually, it looks just like a South Park episode. And, I mean, I don't want to say anything else other than the gameplay is solid. It's sometimes a little weird. There is more loot in that game than I've seen in any game in a long time. It makes Borderlands look sparse.
Wow.
Like, the replay value in as far as trying to get all the loot and different kinds of mixtures you can use is pretty high. The comedy is spot on. It pokes fun at video game tropes. It just plays like an episode of South Park, and it's everything you would want out of a South Park game. And for that reason, I think it's probably the best licensed product I've ever played, because I was laughing the entire time I played it.
I actually just watched season 17 where they had the three-parter that kind of like went into the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought those were hilarious. They poked so much fun at themselves.
Yeah, they do. I mean, like,
state and
they do cool things like your character never talks, and so they make fun of the silent protagonist.
yeah.
Consistently throughout the entire thing, and I mean, I don't want to keep on talking about it just so I don't spoil like some of the great comedic moments of it, but it's really fantastic, and I mean it references everything from Call of Duty to Skyrim to Final Fantasy VII to Dragon Warrior. Like when you go to Canada, it's all in 8-bit. And so, like when you enter a town, it makes these step sounds from the original Dragon Warrior game, or Dragon Quest as we know it now. So yeah, it's an absolute treat. I love the game to pieces. It's so funny.
Cool.
Yeah, Patrick in the chat room says the South Park game was great. I would like to play it. I just don't want to pay that much for it because it's really, really short. Even though there's a lot of replay value, the actual game itself is super short.
I don't fault you at all for that. I borrowed it from a buddy of mine, and I would say this game is worth maybe $30 to $40, but not $60.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, by the next Steam sale, you should be able to get it for probably $30. And it's definitely worth $30. But I would definitely get it.
Speaking of sales, Sony has a huge sale going on the PlayStation Store right now.
I need to get
for
on
Golden
that.
Week. And I picked up the Metal Gear Solid HD trilogy, and which sadly does not include Metal Gear Solid 1, but it does include Peace Walker, which I never played.
Yeah, that always bugged me, and that's the reason I never bought it, was because out of all those games, Metal Gear Solid is the one I want to play the most, but they did not include it with that, as you said.
But,
Well,
but again,
aren't they releasing that Legacy set soon?
it's already out. It's been out for a while.
Oh, has it?
But it's like $40 on Amazon, and I feel like I don't need it because so this includes Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance, Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence.
Is it Substance or Subsistence?
Subsistence is Metal Gear Solid 3.
Okay.
And then Peace Walker, I've got a on-disc copy of Metal Gear Solid 1 in my living room right now, and I've got the Twin Snakes GameCube version in my living room right now, so I could really play those if I really wanted to. But I forgot that the Subsistence version of Metal Gear Solid 3 has the first two Metal Gear games on it, like emulated, the MSX versions. So if I ever want to play those old 8-bit games, I can. Probably not going to, but I can play them. They're there. For $11, that ain't bad. But man, Metal Gear Solid 2's controls are not as good as they used to be.
Nope. Sorry,
It's-
it's stuck in my throat.
And 3... Thank you. Thank you, Slappy. And 3, I'd never played Subsistence. I always played the first version. And apparently in the second version they gave you an actual 3D camera that you could move around, which wasn't in the original version. And that is so much better. But yeah, so I'm kind of playing Metal Gear, except I keep accidentally turning my system off or quitting without saving, and it doesn't have autosave because that's not the thing they did on the PlayStation 2. And so I waste a bunch of hours. So that's my boring story. Sorry.
Nailed
I'm
it.
still playing
Great.
Hearthstone.
Snake Eater!
Hearthstone is great.
It is. I haven't had as much time to play it. Like, I mean, I just now got all of the characters.
Yeah,
and-
I am currently in the process of. I have them all at level 10, so I have all of their
cards.
all of their cards that you unlock via playing to level 10. Because there's still more that. I think there's still more that you can craft beyond that, but
Not just.
but it's
See,
great.
I haven't done any crafting in the crafting system.
You need to.
Where's the craft? How do
Can you
craft?
craft specific cards or?
Like, if you have enough, you can craft Deathwing.
Where do you go to craft cards?
So in the My Collections, when you want to go into deck building mode, there's an option
Uh-huh.
for crafting, and you can disenchant cards that you have duplicates of, or I got an epic for Lore Master Cho, which is not an exceptional card, so I just dusted it and made other cards with it.
See, I have a gold
Fucking
foil.
noobs, Mike.
Huh?
I said these fucking noobs.
I know, right? Come
I
on.
have
Come on.
I have a gold foil version of one of my priest deck cards.
But like still, so like I'm not even
And-
holding on to those foil versions because it's a stupid digital card. Like it doesn't.
I know,
matter.
it's like
Right.
I want to keep it because it's so pretty, but
Right.
it does exactly the same thing. It's not like
Yeah.
I have an extra card because Mind Blast is a really cool card, and I wish I could have a third one in my deck, but they won't let me do that. I don't know. I need to dust it and get into the crafting mechanic. I actually haven't played in a couple of days. I try to do the daily quests, but right now my daily quests are like kill 40 minions, so it's taken forever to get through. But Rebecca's getting into the game too. She's played it a lot, but
I just did an arena thing for the first time because I didn't know what it was, and it's a cool concept where you build a deck and then fight somebody. I really liked that because it kind of evens the playing field.
well, the only thing about arena is that you only get in free once. After that, they charge you.
Oh,
So
really?
you
It's either 125 coins or two real world dollars.
Well, that's bullshit.
Well, I think the rewards are
Out there,
better.
they try to make money. Sons of bitches.
Yeah, on their free-to-play game that clearly has a super high production value.
No, I mean I know, but like now that you mentioned, I do remember that thing popping up once, and I wish I'd played all 3 games so I could get that booster pack achievement. But I thought it was a cool system.
I haven't gotten into the arena yet. I need to. I'm just afraid to because I want to.
$2 per is a little steep, but
Mike is asleep. He's fallen asleep.
he likes Hearthstone.
All right, Mike, are you playing Hearthstone right now?
Nope. And you should not check BattleNet because it will
You're
tell
playing
you.
Hearthstone right now.
Foolish.
It will lie to you.
All right, Patrick.
I want to know about Orlando.
Yeah, tell us about your honeymoon
Yeah, I did get married. That was fun.
and your wedding. Yeah, because we didn't have you on last week.
Yeah, no, the
Marriage.
wedding was great. Yeah, so the officiant actually wanted to do like a full speech from Princess Bride.
That's awesome.
My
Was it a friend of yours that was the officiant?
Yes, yeah, he's
Nice.
basically the guy both Natalia and I have known the longest. Is a good friend of ours and give us a lot of advice over the years. So we were happy to have him. The wedding was great. Drew will tell you it was a lot of fun. It went very quickly, but then we had an awesome like 5 days down in Orlando, and going from like 40, 50 degree weather up here in Boston to like mid 80s down there was amazing. We stayed at a resort, one of the Disney, like nicer Disney resorts, and
Oh,
had
cool.
a pool and a spa and some nice restaurants. We were right next to downtown Disney, which is like a kind of like a boardwalk of like stores and restaurants. But let's see. There's a couple of highlights of the honeymoon.
We saw the Kathy ice cream stand.
Yeah, so
That thing was disturbing.
I have not been to Universal and Universal Islands of Adventure where they have the Wizarding World of Harry Potter for like well over 15 years. Like it's been a long time.
Who is speaking French in our chat room?
Ian.
Ian?
He's from Canada.
Do you know Miles' ex-girlfriend?
She wasn't from Canada. God damn it.
The absolute best part of the week maybe was the Springfield, like the Simpsons stuff at Universal. That was a lot of fun, a lot of cute little touches. Like if you go into Moe's, it looks like 1-to-1, like the ratio of what it looks like in the cartoon. Like the same
That's
number
pretty
of
awesome.
booths, same number of bar stools, and then if you go down to
Did
the
they
end
make
of
it
the
look?
bar,
Did they make the Moe's look like a cartoon, or did they make it look like a real bar? That what Moe's would look like in.
It's a little bit of both. I have a couple pictures I can show you over the phone here, but the best thing about it was you go down to the end of the bar and there's a giant red phone, and it rings like every 30 seconds, and I was like, oh no, Bart is going to be prank calling. But the couple times I picked it up, it was Ralph Wiggum.
Oh, that's
Like,
so good.
Is my daddy there? So here is.
No, not.
That does not work in the slightest.
Shush, everyone.
I see it. That's awesome.
Great.
Oh man, that's super cool.
Yeah. So there's a pool table like in the middle. So there's some stuff that's a little off, but the bar had a big old Barney.
Barney should be sitting at the bar though.
That would take
that's
up a
fun.
valuable seat.
You can, yeah. I mean, they actually served alcohol there, which was crazy.
They should have a character dressed as Barney or pretending to be Barney, saying Barney lines and being in Barney character the entire time.
like not in costume, just like a big drunken guy. There are enough of those in Florida in general. I don't think they need to like pay someone to do that. But the other really cool thing was I got to see, not listen to or watch, the rough cut of the Constantine TV show that's coming out.
Oh, awesome!
That's pretty cool. Now here we go.
I texted you guys that, right?
You mentioned it.
So they do at Universal Studios down there test screenings for TV shows, and the one that I watched was like complete and utter crap with Katherine Heigl. But
Sounds about
like,
right.
What? Sounds like gold.
She apparently just admitted she's broke. I don't know if that's real.
Yeah, well, that's why she's going back to TV, I'm sure. But
Yeah, her previous TV show is Roswell.
They were showing.
She was also on like all sorts of like she was on Grey's Anatomy.
Let the man tell his story.
No.
Yeah, I really didn't want to get into a long conversation about the Heigl on here, but Constantine looks great. It was a rough cut. So some of the I think like special effects weren't there, but all the ones that were look pretty cool. I'm very excited.
So okay, you know that I'm a huge fan of Hellblazer. How is Constantine? Is he true to the character, or?
I mean, he looks it. Yeah, I think they've got kind of like the noir style down. I'm not.
But it's in New York, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's obviously like going to be an Americanized.
But
version.
he's still British.
Supposedly, I mean, like I said, I didn't get to actually listen.
I mean, the actor himself. Like, is he talking in a British accent, or is he?
I didn't get to listen to it. I only got to watch some scenes.
But is the guy talking like he's from the UK?
With pomp and circumstance, like, bruh. Oh,
David Tennant.
No, it's not. But regardless, I got paid to basically sit in air conditioning and watch some forthcoming TV shows, and I was pretty stoked about that.
I feel like you're the person that we hear about in those YouTube comments. Man makes money watching TV shows from home.
You're even new Perez Hilton.
Anyway, that was cool, and obviously Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Yeah, I'm really bummed out because we were supposed to be there or planning to be there the week before you guys were there.
You guys got time. There's plenty of time.
There's no time left. I heard they're tearing it all down next week.
No, but
I heard it's disapparating.
they are building.
Was that a Harry Potter joke?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've only read the first book, so I don't know all the spell names, but I'm assuming.
They are building.
Tell us more about what you've done, Drew.
So let's yeah.
No, I was joking. Patrick's still talking.
They are building.
Man, my description for this episode was so true.
What was your description?
Patrick's back, so Myles, Mike, and Drew will try to seem interested in stories from his honeymoon.
I didn't want to say anything. You guys asked.
I still care, Patty.
I'm giving you a hard. Did they do a wanding thing where you can get a wand in that Wizarding World?
That was actually the longest line that I waited in the entire week.
I have also heard that. It's a super long line.
They only let 25 people in at a time, and it's like a 10, 15 minute attraction, and they did not think it was going to be as popular. It's the best part of the entire Wizarding World.
So are there people that are like, and you're probably literally about to describe this as I'm cutting you off, so go ahead.
It's Ollivanders wand shop, and they have a couple of like attendants who like usher you in, but they got a guy playing, the storekeep, who selects, probably every time like a kid from the group to come up, and he is the one that gets to like, find his wand. And it's just like Harry Potter, like, there's some mishaps, and oh, that's not your wand, this one's too dangerous, and like there's some special effects in the room where like, he'll point it at a plant to try and water it, and it said it wilts.
That's pretty cool.
He like points it at a ladder to try and move it, and like instead like drawers start popping out and like hitting the ladder, and the wand attendant is like, oh, that's not yours, and like puts it back with like another spell. It was great. It was magical, and I think it added.
Do you
to
get
it
a wand?
You can buy it afterwards. Like they talk to the kid afterwards. Like if you want this wand that like they actually picked out and like showed him.
Why
Like,
wouldn't you want that wand?
The next, I mean, I would be all over that. But the next
For
stop is
$59.95.
the gift shop. Like they usher you straight into the gift store right after that.
How much? What's the going rate for a wand?
Well, you can buy them all online, like through Universal's website. But I don't think I saw one for less than $30.
Yeah.
But they,
Yeah, I would think
Like,
30's not so bad. I don't know. That seems kind of
No,
like
I
a
mean,
standard
it's-
price.
it's like a movie replica, like level plops. So I mean,
So
it's
are
like
they all
all
the same, or are they different kinds of ones?
No, there's like they're all the wands that the people had in the movies. So
Mhm.
like you can buy Severus Snape's wand, or you can buy Voldemort or Harry's. Ones that are very like people would recognize them. But they have like 10 different characters. If you're looking that up right now, they had a whole bunch that I didn't even like recognize.
No, I'm responding to Drew being an ass.
Who would want their wand? But I thought that was really neat. The entirety of Wizarding World was awesome, including butterbeer.
How is
so
butterbeer?
delicious.
Yeah, how is it?
Man. So they have regular butterbeer. That's really good. It's delightful. It tastes, like a kind of, it's just a great sugary kind of.
Because we had this conversation in the early days of OR.
Yeah. So, but the best part is they also have like a Slurpee form, like that's like an ice slushy. And when it was super hot down there, those were great. I had like 2 of the frozen butter beers. I really recommend trying both. And pumpkin juice. Pumpkin juice was really good too. Like go thirsty if you're going to Wizarding World. And the rides were
Awesome.
really fun. Obviously, a lot of cool rides. But
Did they have the Quidditch thing going on there?
yeah, they have like 3 different coasters. One is like a.
Oh, so they don't have like I thought they had an attraction like a Quidditch like match.
No,
Oh, okay.
nothing like that. They have a the big coaster is like I think it's themed on like a Tri-Wizard tournament, and it's actually 2 coasters. And at one point in the line, you can either go to like the red or the green coaster for like the red or the green dragon. That was fun. That was where I learned that I never.
Thanks, wench. Sorry, guys. Sarah brought me my water. Finally.
The service at this restaurant is terrible.
Never coming back here. I'm gonna leave an angry review on Yelp.
Start hitting
Sorry.
the keyboard right now. Start like typing like.
Oh, I just typed in my lower third. If you guys want to see it.
Save that one.
What an acronym.
Oh.
NBV. NBC, NBC, XMB.
Do you guys want to play a game that I did not prepare
Let's
for?
please.
Yeah, game!
Yeah, you missed last week's game. It was fun.
I don't believe it was.
No, actually, it was.
We
What was
did
it?
a game where we reinvent Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you weren't on the text because we tried to leave you alone. One of the things we want to start doing is every now
We
and
didn't
then.
want to interrupt anything.
Yeah. He's talking about sex.
Yeah, we were probably asleep.
But
By the time you
either
guys
write
were
our
recording.
own version of something or do our own we were gonna do our own version of a Gundam show. So like Drew would give his Gundam show, I'd give mine, like we get his. But we decided impromptu to field the chat room because we actually had a busy chat room for once. And they want us to
Miles
collectively.
prepared, and we wanted to play.
I know, I was so pissed because I put a lot of thought on my Gundam show, and they want us to reboot Resident Evil, so we decided to do a collective reboot of Resident Evil. It's a really fun idea, and I think we're gonna be doing it again. So
Yeah. So
I will
one
go
day.
back and watch that. This week it is a rehash of a
I also
game
did
that-
trivia.
Also trivia? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
I
you're trying
compiled
to
some. I compiled some trivia too.
take my job completely.
I did, except it
Yeah,
tied because they kept getting the wrong answer.
Patrick, don't worry. His trivia sucked compared.
My
to
trivia was awesome.
It was really not very good.
It was like
Oh.
yeah.
My trivia was
It was. It felt like rebound trivia.
Oh, shut up! You didn't get
we're
me
gonna
right.
play the game we coined here a couple weeks ago, which is Would They Rather? Would They Rather? Where I give you two options for a Would You Rather, and you gotta tell me which one was more popular with the website yourather.com. You guys
Okay.
remember that game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so would you rather, or would they rather, toilet paper a house or egg a house?
I think toilet paper because it's less long-term damaging.
I
Okay.
think egg because people would love to throw eggs at places.
Yeah, I think there's an actual tangible I feel like it's more
Break an egg.
satisfying. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more satisfying to see and hear that egg crack. So I'm gonna say more people said eggs, but I'm gonna say it was really close.
Ooh, really close. All right, let's see. It was pretty close. 56 though said egg a house.
Yeah.
So we got 2 from Mike and Myles. All right, so would they rather meet Chuck Norris or meet the Old Spice Man?
Old Spice Man. Wait, Old Spice Man is Terry Crews?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't have any more info.
Or the old Spice Man from like the old school commercial.
So I'm gonna say because the internet has a ridiculous
Yeah.
love for Chuck Norris and somehow that joke's still funny to people, I'm gonna go with Chuck Norris on this one.
I am too.
If it
Even though
was
I-
actually Terry Crews, I'd be meeting Terry Crews.
me too.
Yeah, you don't meet Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris already knows your name.
Okay.
Oh, everyone going the Chuckster then?
Yeah, I'm gonna also say Chuck Norris.
It was indeed not a blowout, but it was 59% would rather meet Chuck Norris, and who can blame them? How is Chuck Norris not the Old Spice guy now? How did he not capitalize?
Because it's played out, man.
Yeah. And he's a conservative Republican.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he doesn't like money.
That's true.
Clearly he does.
He did do a World of Warcraft commercial, which was
Oh,
about as close to.
Well, a bunch
Instead of
of
Mr. T, and that was way better.
Yeah.
A night elf mohawk.
Okay.
Next.
All right. Would they rather, or would you rather never, listen to music again, or play video games again? You gotta choose one. You can only either listen.
I
to
think
music.
more people would say they would rather never play video games again. Because less people probably play video games.
Really.
I think less people would rather listen to music again. I think more people
I think
would play
because of this website and because how much I see it pop up on Reddit, I'm gonna say more people would rather never listen to music again.
Would rather.
Yeah, the chat
never-
room just randomly said Mackle Morgan Freeman, and I.
All right. All right.
Sorry, I just got to throw that out there because that is hilarious.
Okay. So that was. Myles was they would rather never play video games again, right?
Correct. That's what
I would love it if Bruce Campbell was the Old Spice guy.
All right. So
That was in the chat rooms.
Says right now.
Okay,
No, I'm reading the
so,
chat rooms.
64% would rather never play video games again.
Boom!
Those people are wrong, but I guess.
That's what I'm saying.
Did I tell you guys the Would You Rather that I saw the other day that won by a landslide? It was would you rather find $5 on the ground or have your city's WNBA team go to the championships? And everybody chose $5. It was like 95% of people said I would take the $5.
Well, you don't want to see the Atlanta Dream go all the way?
I didn't even know
Oh my
that
God,
we.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that, Miles. So I asked.
I've been to a WNBA game.
Oh God damn
The
it.
Charlotte Sting back in the day.
I
They're
asked
the
my
Lady
wife that same
What are they
question.
now?
They're
not
nothing now. They went under in 2007.
Oh, did they?
You guys
Yeah.
know that. All right, so another question here, and this is topical for what we've been talking about. Would you rather, or would they rather, have Morgan Freeman narrate their life, or have Chuck Norris narrate their life?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Obviously, 84%. Who wants Chuck Norris following them around, being old sidekick style
Again,
in the
it's this
background?
played out Chuck Norris joke that for some reason has lingered around longer than it needs to.
So, all right, so that one's a wash, basically.
Chuck Norris
I-
punched through a. Never mind.
Would they rather be the first person to walk on Mars via a one-way trip or never travel to space at all?
I'm gonna say never travel to space because I don't want to die on Mars.
Yeah, I've seen.
I don't know. I think there might be enough intrepid souls to be like, I would like to work on Mars.
Mhm.
I've seen Red Planet. I've seen the other movie that came out at the same time that Red
Ghost
Planet.
Mission to Mars.
With Ice
Mission to Mars.
Ooh, John Carpenter
Ice
goes
Cube,
to Mars.
sorry. Yeah, that was a rough
With
one.
Cleve Duvall.
So, I think Mike and Drew get a point on that one. From what I heard, it was 65%. Never travel to space at all.
Suck
Okay.
it, space.
We're coming down to some serious shit, like break the podcast in half style now. And I've looked at this answer before. I forget what it is. But would they rather live in the Star Wars universe or live in the Star Trek universe?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Everyone's saying Star Wars.
It's inherently more interesting.
I'm just saying more people would pick Star Wars than Star Trek.
Well, Star Wars is more mainstream than Star
Here,
Trek.
come
Because it's more interesting.
No, because it's
What?
got a lot of stupid nonsense.
I
in it.
think more people would pick Star Wars.
I also think that more people would pick Star Wars. I think they're wrong.
So
but
I
I
got
think
Drew
if
for down
more
for
people
Star
pick
Trek,
Star
and everyone
Wars-
else is Star Trek.
He's the kid.
So it is in fact Star Wars, but what
Of
percentage
course it
do you
is.
think it is?
And you better give me my damn point for that.
I'm gonna say it's pretty close to 60-40.
60-40? What do you think, Miles?
70-30.
Yeah.
Drew?
Yeah.
80-20.
It is 82-18.
Wow, that's a lot of
Thank
correct
you.
people on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad so many people want to get their hands chopped off by random jetties instead of living in a place where you don't have to worry about food or clothing or anything because you just have a computer you can walk over to and say this and they give it to you.
Yeah, but you have to sit through like 45 minutes of somebody talking to you about it before you actually get it to happen.
Parsec is a distance, not a time.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
So
they fixed that. Actually, they addressed that in one of the first episodes of the Clone Wars show.
Do they really?
Yeah, they reference parsecs as a distance in like the second or third episode.
You know what's funny is they in the expanded universe they kept talking about how it's because the whatever it was, the Kessel run, excuse me, was so treacherous that if you did it in a shorter amount of time, or shorter distance, it would actually, because they justified it in the expanded universe. But you know what? That's gone now. So
well,
What are you
it
gonna
pisses
do?
me
Me
off
off so much.
what are you gonna do?
All right, so this
Guys,
next
I love
question.
Star Wars. Don't make it sound like I don't love Star Wars.
We all love Star Wars. 82% of us love Star Wars. This next question of would they rather is only for 1 year. So if you had to be stuck, if you had to be stuck with one of these for a year, would they rather have to give a graphic naked picture of yourself to anyone who asks for it, or give up sex?
Wait, so they have to know to ask for it, or do people like know this about me?
I think we can assume that people would know that this is the deal.
Well, so here's the
I
thing.
just don't think people are gonna pick to give up sex, so I'm gonna pick the other
Right.
one.
So if we
Or
if we
1
go
year.
by if we go by real world like rules, I have never ever in my life experienced someone asking me for a graphic picture of myself. So,
All right. Well, we're
Well,
not.
then I've got a text for you, Mike.
Would
so
you
I
rather-
would
I think we're going with standard rules. here.
Let me see that taint.
Wow.
it ain't gonna be a good picture. So I mean, I guess I'd rather. Oh God, that's tough.
And just so
I'm not
Drew
ashamed.
feels better.
of my
Everyone
knowledge.
in the chat room seems to have picked Star Trek.
Of course,
And
because
someone texted was like, so I would love to bang Dr. Crusher.
Obviously.
and then you make eye contact with Wesley. I'm your daddy. That's weird.
What are you doing?
I think more people would give graphic pictures of. I mean, explain a graphic picture.
Like,
I just don't give a shit. Like, it's a picture, whatever. I don't give a shit.
I don't.
I think
yeah,
it's
I don't
definitely
care.
different for dudes than ladies. Like,
I don't think anybody is ever going to ask me that, so
Now-
I'll go with that one.
now-
Well, that, no one's gonna go,
Patrick-
oh, I don't want to have sex.
Patrick, you raise a very good point. We're all dudes, and if you assume that only dudes answered this survey, then it's definitely the picture part. But if ladies answered the survey, yeah, I gotta assume that at least the scales are tipped a little more.
I'm gonna say that 60%. If this was all female, 60% of them, I would say 75% of them would say, "No, I'll give up sex for the year."
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I don't agree.
Sarah didn't answer the question, but I know which one she'd give up.
wait, who's
Ask
going-
Sarah.
She's already given it up.
What
you guys
are
know
you
why
guys
Mike's so frustrated all the time.
saying?
Who's drawing this picture?
It's not. It's you have to give them a picture, like a photograph. It's not a drawing. Not a graphic image like graphics.
I love your wife.
Shut up, Myles. Miles gonna start asking for pictures.
But they have to be drawn. You have to draw them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw them anime style.
All right, one more question here because I think that one was a wash.
Who's drawing these?
Wait, what was the answer?
Obviously, it was give a graphic picture of yourself to
Boom.
anyone that asks for it. I think we're all heading that direction. This one, I don't know. I don't know the answer yet. It could be anything. Would you rather emit robot noises whenever you move, or make camera shutter sounds whenever you blink?
I'm gonna go with.
Ooh, that's tough.
Easily robot noises.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with robot noises
Easily.
because I move less than I blink.
You move less than you blink?
Yeah, because like there's lots of times where I'm sitting down playing
I'm gonna go with the camera one.
for like hours, and like my body's not going right, but my eyes are constantly going because I blink a lot. So
I mean, they're both super annoying, but I'm gonna go with the camera.
Paparazzi.
I'm gonna go with robot noises because I can tell people that I'm an android, and they can't prove me wrong.
That is the fiction that I would be going.
I would also throw in beeps and boops anytime I used a computer. I'm willing to add that.
I would tell people that I know how to communicate with computers. Be like beep beep whoop, whoop, beep 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 1001.
Good one, Dave.
Start making motor noises.
All right, so who's going with a robot? Who's going with camera?
Robots.
Robot.
Camera.
Camera, and let's see, what is the answer? With 4 points, Miles is the winner this week. It was indeed camera shutter.
That is stupid. Those people are
Suck it!
stupid. Those people are dumb.
It was a 50
I know people are dumb.
split.
I
Yeah,
count on
again.
people being dumb.
The chat room agrees. Robot noises.
I personally would rather have robot noises because
I would too,
cool.
I demand.
but I don't think
sounds.
people would.
I think people haven't adequately thought about how annoying
Well, most
camera
people
shutter
aren't
noises
us.
whenever they blink would be.
I don't know. I think I move a lot too, so I mean, I think it would just be as annoying.
Yeah, I mean they're both super
Patrick,
annoying.
in the time that you said that, you blinked 6 times. I counted.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about like when I'm trying to get
He's
to
also
bed,
scratching
I'm
himself
gonna
to
be
be like,
moving around a lot, and it's gonna
Yeah,
be
but
like,
think about the hydraulic noises that like Osimo makes, and it's just like it's like they're relatively subtle, like almost like pressure release noises.
Think
They're not
about
like,
when you're at a party and you're drunkenly trying to dance the robot, how much more awesome those robot noises would be.
it's the only dance I know.
well,
It's
obviously,
the only
I
dance
would-
Major Payne knows.
you would have to become like a professional grade popper and locker and rock some robot out every time. Like, I mean, it would be expected. Like, oh my gosh, here comes Drew. Everyone.
I'm actually down here doing that, but I didn't set the camera so nobody saw it.
Good.
Oh, whatever.
All right.
Oh, I started reading House of Leaves.
Oh,
Really?
Oh yeah. Have you ever read it before?
I started like a long ass time ago, but I lost my copy, so I just recently bought one, and it's fucking great.
There's a girl I used to work with that was reading it, and like she tried to explain it to me, and I was always super.
I've never heard of this.
Mike,
before,
if you have the time,
so-
you would really like it.
Can somebody
It's
fill
up your
me in
alley.
Can somebody fill me in on what this is?
Yeah.
It's a Patrick, you're better at this than I am.
Okay, so it's a postmodern novel that is written from several point of views and through appendices and indexes with differing kind of points on the text. Tells a story. The book itself is like the book within the book is an account of a movie, a documentary that was made about this family who moves into this house, and they found out that weird stuff goes on through the house. The first thing they notice is that the interior is like a quarter of an inch larger than the exterior, like an impossible architecture kind of thing. They go away on vacation and they come back and a door appears.
By the way, don't spoil stuff that I just started it.
Oh, okay. Well, how far are you into it?
Oh, like I'm on chapter like 5.
Okay. Well, crazy stuff happens with the house.
It's kind of a weird ghost story.
You've gotten that far, right? Like,
Yeah.
They've gone away on vacation and came back?
No, I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, boy. Oh, geez. Myles, get to reading.
Hey,
I know.
are
I just started today.
there any Kendors or Quindars?
Oh, God.
No,
Not that level of writing.
but it's exceptionally written, and what strikes me the most interesting is how well that the author can do other people's voices, because the introduction and the first couple bits are written from the perspective of this one character, and it's very conversational, kind of like you would talk to one of us. Whereas once
I would never talk to one of you guys.
the articles and documentary stuff happens,
That's
it's very
clear. That's clear.
professionally written and very academic. So his ability to capture people's voice is really cool.
So it is a book that when I worked at Borders, we sold it in our horror section. The author never really enjoyed that. He described the book more as a love story. It is really hard to categorize.
Yeah, but it's about a monster that loves killing. So is that really a love story?
Yeah, it's not about that at all. But I think it is very funny that it's extremely hard.
Isn't it a pretty large read?
Yeah,
too?
it's a very long book.
Oh,
I mean,
it is.
if you're watching on video, you can see how thick the book that Patrick is holding. Let me switch that camera over.
And Mike, that's why I say if you ever get the time, like I think
That's a
it would be
thick
right up your alley.
Yeah.
But it's a long book.
If we get a challenge for that on the More You Nerd, it's going to take us 8 months.
Yeah.
And this is impossible to read. You've flipped through it. It does a lot of crazy things with
Is
text.
that a QR code?
Yeah, I just saw. Is that a QR code over there?
It's from 2000, so I doubt it.
It is not. It is just a
Okay.
bunch of
Oh, it's a bunch of
letter
Ps.
Ps. P. It does a lot of crazy stuff like that. There are some words that are in color ink.
House most often.
Yeah, and a couple other things. But it is just a crazy kind of text experiment in a lot of ways. You get pages like this, and you think you're going crazy.
It's definitely it's almost like a found footage version of a book.
Yeah.
Is it meant to
Exactly.
be read in order, or do you have to go
Yes.
back and forth in the?
Well, there are appendices that they say like you can go read this now, and indexes written. There's some stuff that you can read out of order, because there's just so many different stories going on here. I loved it. I've only read it the one time, but I think I read it for like a book club, and it was a fun book to talk about. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to reading more of it because it's really engrossing. I've got a lot of free time on my hands right now, so I'm looking for more horror books and ghost stories and stuff. And a book that kept popping up, which is one I actually physically own, was House of Leaves. Then I'm like, I never actually full on read this book. I'm gonna give it a shot since I already own it. And it's a treat. Seriously, Mike, if you get the chance.
I'm actually ordering it right now.
Do
See,
it.
that seems like a book that I would want to get a digital version of.
You can't.
No, it's
It's not available digitally, and there's no way you could do it digitally because
You
you have to
really do need
you have to turn the book and stuff, and the thing would turn with you. So.
You can lock that. You can rotation lock stuff. I do that all the time.
yeah.
That's easy.
No, more than any other book, there's a lot of like flipping back and forth, like going back and reading an appendice and then going. There's a lot of that here. It does kind of zap you all around the place. Speaking
Patrick,
of,
do you get sunburned in Florida?
no, I'm looking at myself. I do look pretty red, but
I'm
I
wondering
think
if
it's
that's just the
because-
camera color.
I think I'm not feeling well. I got a tetanus shot yesterday, and it feels like my arm's about to fall off my body.
Mike, if you look up any list on like the top like
I'm
10
sold
horror
already,
books
brother. I
level-
bought it.
Oh.
You've sold it, man.
When you've made the sale, you stop talking.
I hope that if you bought it on Amazon, that you use the Amazon.com link at themoreinerd.com.
I never did.
By the way, did my last purchase on that show up? I bought the
I
last.
don't know, man. I haven't looked. I don't know what you bought. It doesn't tell me who bought what.
No, but I bought the 3 Young Avengers trades.
Yeah, I think that went through. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because that thing always confuses me.
The new books and new comic books. I finally did get around to buying the trade and reading Sex Criminals.
How you
How
like?
is it?
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, it's really good.
Is that Fraction?
Do they, Patrick? I have to ask you. Do they reprint the letters column in the trade?
I don't think so.
So
They
that
do
is
some other-
that is the one downside of the trade, because the letters column is like 8 pages long in every issue because it's all advice about different stuff and people sharing their stories. It's one of the best letters columns I've ever seen in a comic.
It's I don't know. I do like the comic. I feel like the best stuff that's being in any of the issues is like the characters' backgrounds and like kind of them dealing with it. Like the actual kind of like sci-fi plot of the book is not that engaging to me.
Well, it's barely been there so far. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I mean, they only talk about
background.
yeah, but I like that. I mean, we're only, I don't even, 7 issues in, 6.
Yeah, not very far.
It's not much. So we still got a ways to go for that story. I think the title "Sex Criminals" is so funny and weird, but the book is like, it's about that, but it's not about that at all.
It's a terrible title for it because I tried to get Natalia to read it and she's like, "Sex Criminals? No, I'm not. I don't like Law and Order SVU. I'm not reading this." I was like, "It's not what it's about." And then I explained what it's about, and she's like, "That sounds dumber. I would rather read a book about sex criminals." But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. It's obviously worth the $10 purchase or whatever they want for it.
Oh,
Is it on the image bundle right now?
No, it is not.
Oh.
But the trade just came out. Also, Miles, you're misspelling Akira Kurosawa in the chat room. It's Kuro.
Bum bum bum.
Oh no.
Although, is it? Because he's a Japanese guy, so he doesn't even use our alphabet. So technically, I guess it could be Romanized a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys got anything else to talk about? Because I'm about to
I saw Frozen for the first time.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, me too.
I fucking loved it.
It's good.
It was
It's really
great.
good.
It's
It's a
really
good
great
movie.
movie.
It's a good
Disney's
movie.
knocking it out of the park compared to the last 3 Pixar films. The last 3 Disney films have been awesome.
What were the last 3 Pixar? Brave.
Brave,
Cars 2
Cars
and
2.
Monsters University.
Monsters University was pretty good though.
I
didn't
didn't see
see it.
Monsters University. I didn't see Cars 2. I did see Brave.
Monsters
and Brave was not
University, I guess I should say it was enjoyable. It like the first one was great. The Monsters University was like, yeah, it's a good follow up, but it wasn't like it was nowhere near like the caliber of movies that they had put out before, but it's still good.
Wreck-It Ralph was like so amazing.
I
Wreck-It
love
Ralph-
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph is great, guys.
It's
You gotta see
great.
Wreck-It
I'm
Ralph.
wondering if they have like some of the old Pixar guys on their team now.
I'm still kind of amazed that I have not taken the time to see Wreck-It Ralph.
You
You'll
of
love
all
it.
people need to watch Wreck-It
Yeah.
Ralph, Mike.
Yeah, you would catch
Seriously.
so many of the Easter eggs. It's ridiculous.
The fact that there was an Aerith Lives spray paint in the background on a
There's
wall.
not.
There is
Yes, there
an
is.
Aerith Lives spray
That's
paint on a
awesome.
wall. It
I
is
cannot wait for the sequel
filled
to that
with
film.
video game references. It took us 4 hours to watch the movie because I had to pause it every time there was a scene. I could point out all the stuff to Rebecca, and she was done with it.
The central kind of station. There's a lot of very
Yeah.
little.
I will say, once Wreck-It Ralph gets to a certain point in the movie, it's like, all right, we're spending a little too much time here, but it's still enjoyable.
Yeah, I know, and I feel the same way Frozen. Like I really was surprised by the pace of the film, and it slows down for a little bit, but I mean the movie just really moves pretty quickly.
Yeah, I loved
And
it. I thought it was
one thing I
hilarious,
noticed is like
too.
I remember the internet like having this huge love affair with the song "Let It Go," and I kind of ignored it because I don't like listening to songs from musicals before I see them. And now I'm like, yeah, I totally see why this became a thing because the song's fantastic.
So I mean, I'm so opposed to musicals in general. Like
I know you are.
I know, Mike, you've been on this show for a long enough period of time. There's been enough musicals on
and
this show.
stop
There's
talking.
only like 3 songs though.
And so that's like.
Oh no, there's not.
I feel like for the most part, like the music in this movie was done very well. Although, like, I think does Kristen Bell actually do the singing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
she is.
You can kind of tell. There are some parts where she's singing where I just kind of like felt a sharp pain go up my spine. Like her voice is just shrill at points during that song, which I don't know. Maybe I'm too critical of it, but like that song specifically, there were certain like notes that she was hitting that just like ooh.
Well, if you want to know more about the guy who wrote or I guess co-wrote the music for Frozen, he's got an EGOT. He's one of the few EGOTs.
Tracy Morgan?
Yeah, Tracy Morgan wrote the music to Frozen.
Tracy Jordan.
Yeah, sorry. But he also did the music for Book of Mormon, which I really want to see.
Yeah, me too.
I've avoided everything about it, but
Me too.
just because I want to see it for the first time. And he did the music for Avenue Q, which is fantastic.
Oh, nice.
So,
Yeah,
so
I really
pedigree.
enjoyed it from the movie, and I understood why Let It Go became such a thing. But I thought it was a great movie. I loved how they kind of played with the stereotypical fairy tale.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
I thought it was
something that Pixar, you would see Pixar doing.
That's why I think that Disney has mined some of the Pixar guys, because even though I liked Brave, the last few Pixar movies have not really been up to snuff.
What the guy who directed Toy Story is now like in charge of like Disney Animated. So obviously
Brad Bird.
No.
I don't.
Who
He
is
directed
it?
The Incredibles.
Yeah, you're right.
Lasseter, maybe.
Yeah, it's John Lasseter. That's
All right, good night,
Lasseter
guys.
is now in charge. Please don't log off.
Yeah,
I was
it
waiting
is-
for that button to go dead.
Yeah, it is getting late, guys, and we are now just going to ramble on for another 30 minutes about Disney, Pixar, whatever.
I just want to throw that out there that I saw it and I loved it.
Because
glad
my
you saw it.
son
I'm
has
glad
been
you liked
introduced
it.
to The Incredibles. I've been watching The Incredibles over and over and over again, but only for like the first 45 minutes of it. But it's still a fantastic movie, and I hope that Incredibles 2 rocks.
I do too. Is Brad Bird still doing it?
Yeah, he's going to direct.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
In the meantime, you can check us out at themoreyounerd.com, twitter.com/obscure show, facebook.com/obscure-reference.
Oh, and Deuces and Gooses.
He's just so pleased. He's just so pleased with himself. He squeezed it in there under the wire.
The Myles Deuces and Gooses. If you are not watching the video, you just need to fast forward to the end and watch the just self-satisfaction that Myles has with that D&G.
Give us another one, Mike. Give us another.
What I missed.
All right.
Oh, Mike, you missed it.
Give
Good
us some
night.
Jeez.